All right, let's get this one going. I guess we're here for the plug number 5. I already got 5 of these, and I could probably do right. I could do like number 6 and number 7 if I wanted to, but that's too many channels, and I don't want these channels just kind of getting kind of being muddled together because there's too many of them. I think this format of having like 5 some of the smaller channels and the bonus channels I'm treating like a couple of bigger channels that maybe not everybody's aware of, um because the community is so large, and that's what I really find interesting is a lot of these times I'll go into like what I would consider a bigger channel, and I'll go look in the comments, and I don't see any names that I recognize. So that's when I start thinking, okay, well, maybe this is something that I can share. Even they might be 3,000, 5,000 subscribers, but for some reason they're not really, um, I guess, in the community, I guess, or not. Well, obviously they're in the community. They're just not in our circle. And so I figured, why not share them? So that's kind of what I've been doing with some of the bonuses channels and trying to do that. But before I get going, let me acknowledge some of you guys that are here. I want to thank you so much for coming in at the last minute. I honestly was just sitting around, and when I decided to post this, I didn't see anybody going live. And then once I posted it, I guess Garden of Eater, I forget that if they have a scheduled one on Monday or not, but I guess they were doing tank maintenance, so it's not like their typical talk ones. And besides, this one shouldn't be too long. So, but again, I want to thank Jose for being the first one in here. Ben, Lake Missoula Aquatics and Plants, thank you so much for joining us today. Sarah the Great, aka Motherfish, is here with us today. The Koi Pit Thai is joining us also, better known as Koi Man. And let's see who else. We got Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining us. CRP Fish, Lake to Land Aquatics. Latoya, thank you so much for dropping in. And we have GNC Aquatics. Sorry, it's not that. It's Gabriel. Let me see. And Fishcapades Mel, thank you for joining us tonight. Mark Sterlson, thank you so much for coming in. Cecil Mayberry, thanks Cecil for dropping in. MNC Aquatics Mike, thank you so much. Notify me. Sorry, Sam. It was kind of like I didn't even think I had 30 minutes to post it. Usually, if I put it out 30 minutes prior, it'll send out the notifications. But why are always yelling, Sam? Thank you so much for joining us. Vinoski, hey, thanks for coming in. Peces y más, David, muchas gracias por estar aquí, compañero. Te lo agradezco muchísimo. Saline Aquatics, Jesse, thank you so much for coming in. My wife, Lisbeth Martinez, the most gorgeous woman in the world. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now I better behave because I know she's watching. And only Oscars June, thank you so much for coming in. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. It seems like I got everybody. With that being said, I've got a group of YouTubers that are out there, and we'll go ahead and get into a little bit of what I've kind of been liking about their channels, and the stuff that I think you guys might enjoy. This one runs the gamut. We have from a very young man, young man, to people that are in my age group or a little bit older. So we're gonna run the whole gamut. But I guess the first one that I want to talk about is an interesting one, because if you like in-depth conversations about aquariums, we've been very fortunate that we've gotten a few, I guess, podcasts, if you want to call them that. The first one that comes to mind is the Three Idiots Talking, our friends from New Zealand. And they have a very interesting one. And then this other one was actually brought to my attention by one of my guests that I had on one of the live streams. And that would be Chris from Ascent Aquatics. and he was talking about that he likes to listen to the Aquarium Guys. So let me go ahead and let's take you there. And the other day, I actually heard that I guess Kyle from Outside In Aquatics and Bare Bottom Bratton um, was they actually got to meet the guys at a fish club meeting or I don't know what it was, but they actually posted a picture on Facebook with Whip, I believe the two gentlemen from the podcast, or one of the gentlemen from the podcast, and Bare Bottom Bratton. And so I was just excited because I got to see Brandon on the picture. But anyways, let me take you to that channel. Let me go ahead and share this screen with you guys. And here we go. These are the Aquarium Guys. I guess they've been doing this for quite some time now. They've been, oh no, I don't want to play it. About that. I actually want to go to their page or their channel. They've been around for a while, and I started listening to some of these. These are strictly podcasts because they don't have any video. It is just conversation, which is good if you're busy in your fish room. If you don't need to be visually seeing what's going on, these are great because it allows you to put on your headphones, walk around, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's driving or whether you are working in your fish room. The topics are really good. The dynamic of both of these gentlemen, I think one of them was like a fish store owner for a long time, and the other gentleman is just a hobbyist, I believe. I like I said, these guys are relatively new to me, and I've been listening to this. I kind of went back and started listening from the very beginning. They've got 113 podcasts already. They call them video podcasts. I don't know, but like I said, I think there's only like a few of them where they did one in I believe in Joe's Shrimp Shack up in Minnesota. They did one live, I think, from the store, and I think that one has a little bit of video clip in it, if I remember correctly. But just the topics themselves are really, really interesting, and I think it breaks the mold of the traditional kind of talking about necessarily about a specific topic. I think it's more geared towards based on their experiences, a lot of good information. I can see why Chris had really enjoyed these, and I'm glad that he recommended this to me. And I think Kyle and Brandon have recently started following them. I don't know if they've had an opportunity to listen to any of the live streams. I don't know if they're here tonight. It might be kind of late for them, so I wouldn't be. And then this was like really, really short notice because if they were here, I would love to hear their input. Oh, thank you, Sam. You actually took the description and posted it on there. I appreciate that. Hopefully the hyperlinks are working on I didn't check that. Usually I do it before I go live so that it's easy for you just to clip on the name and the hyperlink will connect you to their channel. If it isn't on there, if it's not working, Sam, let me know. And as soon as this is over, I'll go over there and correct that, because it's important that you guys can get access to these channels if you want to check them out. But yeah, the Aquarium Guys. And what's crazy to me is that as good as this podcast is, I don't think they've found the right audience. Because if you look, they don't have a lot of views, which is crazy to me. Because once you listen to these, you'll understand why I'm saying that this is crazy. But they only have 471 subscribers. Again, it could be just the fact that they haven't found the right niche or group to kind of really plaster this with. I think part of the advertisement when it comes to the podcast has not really been there, because they've been doing this for how many years now? And they've been doing this. Well, at least the channel's been up since 2019. So if we go look at the oldest video, Let me see how many years ago. So, okay. All right. So that's what it is. They've only started putting the videos or the podcast up for the last 11 months. So they've been doing this for less than a year. Okay, that makes perfect sense. It's not going to take very long for this thing to blow up because I'm telling you, they're really entertaining. They're really, really good. It makes the time go by real quick. The information is rapid. They have a knack for being entertaining. They're funny at times. Everything you want to hear from a podcast, they kind of nail it right on the head. Their dynamic is really good as far as co-host, and they play really well off of each other. So I really enjoy this one. I'm guessing that most of you guys, if you check it out, you might find out that this is something you're going to really enjoy and might want to put it on your rotation of things to listen to when we're doing something around the fish room. So that's one of them. The next one that I want to talk about is called Scrapes Aquatics. This is a very young man, at least that I can tell a little bit from just the tone of his voice. He sounds like he's a lot younger than me. I can tell you that much. Okay, so Pyle Aquatics, he's aware, he's familiar with this podcast. He says, I have known they had a chat. Oh, this channel. Okay, so Mark, if you don't mind, where are they? Kind of like on Spotify? Is that where they're at, or what's the deal with these guys? Because I'm so surprised. You can agree with me. As good as that podcast is, that they haven't really blown up like the way I thought they should have, because it's really good production, good audio. Like I said, they're good. I mean, I'm not going to beat that horse to death, but they're really good. Yeah, you know what? I've gotten to that age, Sarah, where just about everybody is younger than me. I was reminiscing with somebody the other day. I forgot who I was talking to them about. I was always the guy that used to like to hang out with the older guys, and now I'm at that point where I'm the older guy, and everybody that's hanging out with me is younger. So the papers have reversed themselves. I'm the old guy in the group now. Hey, Mario, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Gracias por el apoyo. So that's interesting to me. That's something that that's kind of that I have to take in and realize, oh shit. And I started thinking about that because I was thinking about a lot of the people that I talk to. The majority of them are quite a few years younger than me. at least 10 years younger than me for the most part. And that's kind of crazy that I've become the old guy that has the young friends instead of being the young guy with the older friends. But anyways, I'm being sidetracked there. Okay, Scraper Aquatics. Let me go ahead and this is a young guy. He's apparently has his fish room in his bedroom. He's got some tanks. I just find it interesting. It's because we're always talking about bringing in the younger generation. This is a young man that I think fits that description. I'm pretty sure he's either in his late teens, early 20s, probably. I want to say more like the late teens. And he started what he's got. He's got a, well, let's see. He's got terrariums and aquariums is what he's doing. And, in here, he says that it's mainly about aquariums and terrariums. And he's kind of documenting his journey through this and what he's been learning. The last video, he was setting up a display for a lizard. I want to say, I think a gecko. I don't know. Don't hold me to that because I'm not into the reptiles, but I don't know much about reptiles other than I know some are lizards, some are snakes, and that kind of stuff. But very, very little knowledge when it comes to that. But it's I like him, young, energetic. You can tell that he has a little bit of experience, but I'm really interested to see his growth. And he's talking about the different plans that he's doing with this fish room and things like that. I think since we're always talking about supporting the younger generation, I thought this was a good channel to put out there. and hopefully we can do that and give this young man, an opportunity to grow and show some support. And so that's him. There's not, I don't think he has too many videos. Like I said, he's relatively new. I want to see. Yeah, that was the one, the mystery reptile. That was 2 days ago, and I think his very first one was on. No, well, maybe more than that. Okay, so he started up his channel about 2 years ago. It looks like he almost took a whole year off and then restarted again. And I guess 2023 is when he kind of came back again and started posting a little bit more consistently, from what I can tell. And I guess, yeah, from then on, he's kind of been a little bit more on the regular, at least once a month, if not a few times a month. He's been posting stuff. So, if you're interested in stuff like that, like reptiles and aquariums, and he's got a little ecosystem in a jar. I know Fathom Aquatics is going to enjoy that, and I wish RJ was here so that he understands what we're talking about, a jar. That's one of our friends, and so this is I don't know his name. I don't think I've ever heard him mention his name, so we'll just leave it at Scrapers Aquatics. And his other social medias, he's just right now he's only got his YouTube channel posted on there. So we'll see what happens and how it evolves, and hopefully he continues to make content, especially because he's one of the younger kids. Look at me talking like an old fart. One of the younger gentlemen, and it's great to see that. So if we can encourage him, guide him, whatever it is that he might need, hopefully he can have a support system that'll help him have some success. So that would be him. And let's see. The next one, oh, this one is super cool. Big G's fish tank. Here again, I think he's in my age group, if not a little bit older. Big G's fish tank. This is really cool. He is doing the gamut of the how-to videos for beginners. That's solely what he's been doing so far. But they're really good videos. They're really good, informative videos. The thumbnails obviously is somebody like myself who doesn't have a lot of tech experience with the new type of thumbnails that are out there and stuff like that. So I can identify to what he's doing, but the information is superb. Let me see. Okay, so he's got five aquariums, and he's got 7 different species in there that he's breeding for profit. So he's taking those, turning them around, and selling them at the local LFSs and what it seems like some of the fish swaps and some of the clubs and stuff like that. So he's actually running a business, and he's teaching people how he's doing this with just 5 aquariums, which is pretty impressive. It goes to show that you don't need to have a tremendous fish room to still be able to make a little bit of side money at the bare minimum to maintain your aquariums, which by the sounds of it, it looks like he's doing more than just maintaining his aquariums. Granted, you're not going to become a millionaire, breeding for profit, but it'll give you some extra money for other things that you might want to do, which is not bad. And especially nowadays especially the younger generation, that are pretty savvy with technology and stuff like that, that could actually be a pretty good side hustle for them that'll still allow them to do other things and be able to generate some funds. So with Big G, he's got a Patreon, he's got a like a tip jar or a buy me a coffee site. And I guess that helps him fund whatever projects he's working on there. He's also has an email address available if you wanted to reach out to him. And again, this is a relatively new channel. I think he only has 10 videos. So it's not that old, and but they're all broken down into specific things, topics, and so that's kind of what he's doing here. He's sharing his experience as far as when it comes to breeding and just information on the fish, I guess, that he's kept over time. Again, he's relatively new. I think you would enjoy these, even as an experienced aquarist or hobbyist or whatever you want to call it. I'm still able to pick up some information that could potentially be useful. Uh, so that's why I figured that you guys might enjoy this for a little bit, and uh, and hopefully, you know, give them a little bit of support. So that's that. The other one is Flowstate Aquatics. So let's go see Flowstate Aquatics. Nope. How does he put Flowstate? Aquatics or aquariums? Yeah, aquatics. Brain is not working. Here we go. There it is. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, he's only got 57, but this is a good channel. Wow, they're all good channels. What am I talking about? That's why I'm bringing them to you, because I really like them. Um, that was that was not that was not very smart. But anyways, again, this is another one where he's trying to impart some information, knowledge. Um, I really like these channels because, even like I said, even as an experienced hobbyist, there's always a tip or a technique or something that you can walk away that you can pick up. Um, and I think that's why I enjoy these channels so much, is because I look at them as an opportunity to learn. Um, I unfortunately I don't do a lot of reading, um, but I do try to consume a lot of information, and I try to consume valuable information. And because I do have a lot of opportunity to listen to stuff, I go that route. Uh, and I try to just immerse myself in as much information that's out there, um, and listen to some of that. A lot of these channels are going to be very similar to the type of aquariums that I keep, because that's really what drives my interest. I know some people um, prefer a different type of experience, but don't worry, I got you covered. For those of you guys that like the bigger fish, there's a couple of channels that I'm going to talk about that will 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 scratch that itch. But yeah, Flow State Aquatics. Let's see when, according to this, he's got his. Oh, this is Sam. So he does post his name on here. His name's Sam. It's getting to the point now where I know too many channels, and I'm trying to remember all these names. It's getting a little bit harder for me. My hard drive's starting to get full. I'm gonna have to do a brain dump at one point and get rid of some of the information that I'm not really accessing too much. So he's got 14 channels. He's got 60 subscribers. Actually, that went up, because when I first found his channel, he only had 27. And when I looked at it before this live stream, so some of you guys have already subscribed, which I want to say thank you for that, which is great. Um, what was I getting at? Okay, so he started in 2024, so October. So he just well, wow, that's not a lot of time. Um, that's less than a year. That's only a few months that he started up his channel, and I think that's kind of when I came across, is when at the beginning of the channel starting. Right now, the only thing you can find him on is on YouTube. I don't think he has, or he hasn't posted any of his others other social media platforms. I don't know. I think I want to say that he is on Instagram, because I think I kind of reached out to him. Um, so, but I can't again. my recollection, my memory recollection is recall. I mean, is not at his best right now. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. I'm tired. So that's Flowstate Aquatics. Check him out. If you like what he's doing, give him a like, support him. Really good information. I've enjoyed his videos so far. Again, you'll find a pattern of the people that I kind of gravitate towards. They have something that's about their delivery that kind of really draws my attention. And so I think you'll find this channel also very entertaining. Let me see. Make sure I haven't been paying attention to the comments just because I've been I could consuming a lot of things. Yeah, so do I. A lot of things like food and stuff like that I shouldn't be eating, but that's okay. All right. So I guess there's no. Oh, I miss Oscars. I miss my Oscars. They were one. Okay. Yeah, Waterboy of CF Central Florida. I just recently came across his channel too. He does like a morning live stream where I think he runs his tanks on there for a little while with some background music. And oh, congratulations. You hit 1,000 subscribers. That's really good. That's amazing. So I'm sure you guys will see him on here on one of these plugs. But by that time, you guys would probably already been out to his channel. But okay, the next one is Ogle's Fish Room. This one was kind of cool because not only is he doing like the aquatic stuff, this is what I like when I find out that people also do other things. They have talents in other areas, and he also does a lot of paintings or art, I guess is what I want to call it. And I thought that was super cool. I don't know. I think he post it on here? Yeah, it's called Ogle's Art. And so he's got 2 channels, and he's got some really, really neat well, let me bring it up. So, well, let's do this one first, and then we'll go look at his other channel. He's another one that I'm surprised he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. I can't even remember how I came across his channel. But what I find interesting is that he's kind of in the same situation. I think he's out in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So he has to deal with heat. And he talks about the struggles of keeping his tanks around 84 and 86. And he's got an interesting take on it as to why he thinks he doesn't have a lot of diseases that are going on and stuff like that, which I find that interesting. But yeah, he's another one. He's got some, obviously, again, we're going to similar tanks to what I keep. He does some really good aquascapes. Very, very interesting because they're not these elaborate manicured kind of scapes. He uses a lot of very simple plants, but still manages to pull off some really, really nice aquariums. And I can appreciate that because to me, as being a beginner aquarist, that gives you hope that you can pull it off, because it doesn't seem like something very different. Like if I look at some of the stuff that goes and competes in Japan, I look at that and I'll go, there's no way. I don't. Well, it's not that there's no way. There's no way because I don't have the resources to be able to do that, or the liberty to use the resources to do that, because it does take a lot of money. I like these tanks that he's got set up because they seem very approachable as far as the budget is concerned, and what he's doing. Really, really enjoyed what he's been doing there. And I think they're interesting. I just wanted to share those with you guys and see what you guys think, and show them a little bit of support and love too at the same time, and we can continue to grow our community. I'm of the opinion the more the merrier, and I think we all benefit in the long run because we can all support each other and just move towards success together as a unit. So All right, so let's check out his art channel, which I think it's called Ogle Art. Ogle Art. Hopefully, it gives it to me. There it is. And some of his look like these. This is the stuff that he does. I find it really interesting. I think it's really good. I love these right here because they kind of remind me of aquascaping.
This is my painting,
but
Cypress.
kind of what it reminds me of.
This is the poem that I wrote.
They're meant to look like trees or not. That could be
Winter is coming.
Of it.
Most of the leaves have already taken on a wine break.
But I don't know. So that's kind of what he's got going on. Let me see. Oh shit! Stephen P did a tour of his fish room. I gotta go watch that as soon as I get off of here. Just I guess I like art because I always love looking at stuff on YouTube with stuff like that. I told Sarah that's one of the things that I thought was really cool about what she was doing because she's basically taking every single wall in her house and turned it into a canvas. I just find that very interesting. I don't know. I don't know why it speaks to me, but and I have no talent when it comes to doing art. That's probably why I like it so much. I am not very good at it. My wife, on the other hand, my God, she has a talent. She's really, really, really good. She did this one, like with pen. It's not ballpoint pen. I don't think it was, but it was so good that we had it framed, and she wanted to get rid of that painting or that drawing, and I told her, hell no, I need to find a room for it here in my fish room eventually, and because I really like it. I thought it was like her first drawing she ever did with I think you call it point. Again, I'm not an artist. I just know what I like, and I really like that. So those are the ones that I think are the smaller channels that you guys might enjoy that you probably weren't aware of, and hopefully today you have an opportunity to go check out somebody new, and so I just wanted to share that with you. Now the other two are bonus channels, and hey Garcia, and so some of this, one of them you might see because he's kind of popped up a couple of times, which and that's Tabarak Aquatics, and he's got plywood tanks, he's got monster fish. Again, I think it's cool, not necessarily what I keep, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it in somebody else's fish room. And Ross is also it also helps that Ross is like one of the nicest guys that I've met. He's very personable. He's really funny. I think that's a common thread with people that I kind of associate myself with. I guess they need to have a certain level of sense of humor to be able to be compatible with me, because I like having fun, and so, but Roz is his channel is really, really cool. He keeps some of the biggest fish that are out there. His tanks are impeccable, like most big cichlid keepers usually do, because you guys are running all sorts of filters and particular filtration. So they look really, really nice. I'm assuming you guys like drama, because it just seems to me like that's drama waiting to happen inside that aquarium, because at any minute switch can flip and you could have a Royal Rumble on your hands. But you know what? I just don't I don't think I could dedicate the space to be able to house these guys correctly. I think people like Jeremy are doing it right, and that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy his channel, is because I really get to see these fish in their full glory, and the colorations that some of the bigger cichlids have is just amazing. And that's why I kind of like watching some of these. And then if you're really interested in like odd body shapes, that's where you really start finding them. finding them when you start getting into some of the bigger fish, you know, because you have like your gars, your bichers, your pikes, all these different variations of body sizes. You got flower horns, you have you know, all these big body cichlids. Very personable. This is where this is for me the hobby kind of changes, where it goes from just being fish to actually being pets. And I've always said that I think I'm a chicken shit because I don't want to try it because I don't want to get attached. I know when you start getting bigger into the bigger fish, that's when it really stings to lose them. Because for one, you probably got to see it grow from a relatively juvenile size, and you've invested time and energy and love and all of that to get it to grow to a size where it's in its full glory, and then to have it go away. That's why, you know, people that keep arowanas and stuff like that, I understand when they lose them that it hurts, because it's, you know, you're talking years of dedication to be able to grow these things out and get them to a point where you can be very proud of what you have and have it pass away. And you know, it's bad enough that when you lose your pets like your dogs or your cats, uh, losing these big fish, I think it's comparable to that, and I get it. And so I love enjoying these in their tanks, but I don't know if I could do it. Nah, I just I don't want to have that attachment. I don't want to have that have to go through that sense of loss. It's bad enough I got to deal with other losses that I don't like. I guess I'm being totally honest. It's really just being a chicken shit and not wanting to get emotionally invested. But they are beautiful specimens. And the other guy I've talked about is Cichlid Hut, and I know recently Aquafunk had him on as a guest. And if you haven't seen that live stream, I recommend you go and check it out. What's really cool is that he is doing something very interesting that might be controversial with the purist in the hobby. And the reason I say that is because he's purposely hybridizing fish, which, if you really stop and think about it, a lot of the cool species that are out there have been hybridized at one point or another, especially when you start getting into these big cichlids. You can't help it but to do that, to see what the outcome is. I know some people frown upon it, um, and that's okay. But that's the beauty of this hobby, and I think it's also another way to enjoy it. And you know, it's that expectation to see what awesome thing comes out of a vision that you had, um, about trying to guess what the outcome's going to be. And really cool channel. If you're into the big cichlids, again, this is something you're going to truly enjoy. Very personable gentleman. I'm not going to call him a young guy because he's a little bit older than most hobbyists, but not nearly my age group. So he's a gentleman. And but yeah, those are the two the bonus channels. Obviously they're not necessarily small channels because they're over 1,000 subscribers, but they're not huge channels in the scope of things. You know, you start talking, I guess the break off is like 50,000 or more subscribers. You start getting into bigger channels because you know, I think that's where the cutoff is. But you know, for the most part, they're really, all these people that I've talked about definitely would fit the category of small content creators. But I like highlighting even the smaller ones, or the ones that for some reason they haven't found their group. They're making videos, but they haven't really been able to find the community, I guess, for lack of a better term, and been able to get that support. And you know, it's cool when you can put out a video and people people watch it and they respond to it. And so that's sort of why we share our videos, to be honest. It's we want to be able to connect with people, on a different level. And I've hopefully we can provide some of that connection to some of these channels and see them grow. I'd love to see them succeed. I think that's so awesome. Again, I'm of the opinion the more the merrier. And not that doesn't mean everybody's taste, but the more options you have out there, the funner things are. So those are the ones that I have. I also want to take the opportunity to let you know that tomorrow, 8 o'clock my time, I believe, which would be 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Western time. That's going to be an early stream. But I've got Aquarium Naturals. No, Natural Aquariums. That sounded odd. Yeah, Natural Aquariums. He's a young man out of, again, sound like an old fart. But again, Sarah's right. Everybody's younger than me for the most part. It's a gentleman out of Germany. And I was excited that he actually wanted to be on here because now we get to look at the hobby overseas and see what it's like. What are the things that are similar to what we're doing and what's different? And so we'll be having that conversation. Ethan, I think it's his name. So tomorrow, hopefully, those of you guys that can join, you're more than you'll be very welcome. And if not, like always, I greatly appreciate the fact that you guys watch the replays. And so with that being said, thank you. You guys have a great night, and hopefully I get to see most of you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the oldest by any means, but I'm getting there. I'm in that. I'm getting close to qualifying for the senior discount. So, oh, farts not. I agree. We have more fun. we've seen more. We've lived more, and we have more to say. So, with that being said, thank you. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night. You guys take care.